Yo, what is happening, everyone? Yes, that is a different background. Ahoy polloi. I was just watching Ahoy polloi, or Toy polloi, I should say. I am having some new intranet installed at Casa del B to the J, and they did not finish today. So I came over to my buddy Hurt Toys house, who lives just down the way from me, and here we are. So we are from Hurt Toys house tonight. Looks like everything is working. Zero Pop is in the waiting room. Zimitco is in the waiting room. Jazz Wiz, what's going on, buddy? Dylan Clement, also, what is up, dude? Couple things down there at the bottom to go over. Nope, just that they both brought giveaways for tonight. Stormico, what's happening? Daniel Antil, what's going on? We're gonna do we got Zero Pop, and then we're gonna do 3 giveaways from Zero Pop. So there's 3 little robots. If you saw the the post on yesterday for the giveaway, lots of really Suki, what's up, man? Lots of really good responses to the giveaway question this week, and we'll go over a couple of those. Looks like I think somebody might have just replied to that, actually. But yeah, really good question about if you receive something in the mail that is broken for one reason or another, kind of what's your next move. I think we've all bought plenty of stuff. Bliss, what's going on, my dude? I think we've all bought stuff. Jack Skies, what's up? We've all bought stuff and had it, either dinged up or broken or both. And it was interesting to see everybody's answer on what they would do exactly. Whether you try to repair it yourself or you try to reach out to the artist and ask for a refund, or if it's a packaging deal, whatever it is. So anyways, we'll go over a few of those. We'll go over a few of those answers as soon as we do the giveaway. Yep, just got another one in there. Neckrath just replied. Bam. So let's get him taken care of real quick. 35 for Neckrath. Bam. Rec Shop Resin, what's up, dude? Dre, what is going on? For you guys who missed it starting off, I am not at the house tonight. I am at Hurt Toys' house in his living room, actually. I'm having some newer, better internet installed in my house, and they weren't able to finish today. So we will get to that. Apparently tomorrow that'll be taken care of. But tonight we got Zero Pop art. We're going to do 3 giveaways from Zero Pop, and then we got Zimitco is doing a shop drop this weekend, and I have some pieces to show you for the beautiful insect vinyl piece. Some really cool one-offs, all painted and done up very, very nice. Let's see here what time we got. 6:04. Cool. We're going to go ahead and get started. Let me get the right banner up here for Zero Pop. Zero Pop. I first saw Zero Pop when I was at Assembly Required last year. Really cool account with making wooden robots. And then you get onto the web page, which you'll see down there at the bottom. Lots of stuff going on that website. You can join the mailer list for 10% off an order. He does have a show or 2 coming up here that we'll get into. There's also a storefront if you're in the Asheville, North Carolina area. There's a spot called the Marquee. We'll talk about that a little bit. And there's a full retail display of Zero Pop art there, which is super, super clean. If you've seen his site or his account, you'll see pictures of that on there, and it's really, really nice. So anyways, Acid 9, what's going on? Boom. All right, so here we go. I'm going to bring in Zero Pop. You ready, my man? Ready to go. Here we go. Zero Pop, what is up, dude?
How you
doing good, man. Thank you. Let's start off with your studio. We were chatting a little bit about your new studio behind you. What you got working there?
So for the last 4 or 5 years, I've been working out of my garage, basically, with everything that I do. with all of the art. And luckily, a spot opened up not too far from home. I'm about 5-10 minutes away from home.
Nice.
It's kind of like an office, a flex office space, so I can have a painting room and I can have a wood shop that I can cut and sand in. And before that, it was all in one garage for many, many years. So
Yeah, doing everything in one spot. Dude, and my bad, before we get started, tell everybody
yeah,
who you are and what you do.
yeah. My name's Paulo, and I run Zero Pop Art, and that's my website and social handles is Zero Pop Art. And so I make wooden robots and I make art and paintings and I do a little bit of everything, but the wooden robots themselves took off a few years ago and have been like the main staple of what I do. So that's what I've been doing since about 2020.
So that's awesome, man. So 2020 is when the wooden robot started. What kind of led you to wooden robots, man? I mean, like, you're obviously a very, very talented painter. Your work on your
Cool.
website is incredible, and I think the paint apps on some of the robots really do make the pieces. I mean, some of them obviously they do because it's geared around a figure or a character or a personality. But at what point had you always been working with wood? There's not too many people out there. I mean, I can think of maybe 4 or 5 that are making wooden figures of some sort.
Yeah, thank you for the intro and all the nice words. That's really great. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think wooden robots themselves, it's kind of a global thing, and I think there's a lot of people out there doing it. I think it's just whatever like niche that you pay attention to, like, and that you focus on. That's what you're gonna pick up on. If you go to like Instagram or maybe Instagram there wouldn't be as much, but I know there's some artists on there doing the work. Pinterest, you can find a lot.
Mm.
And in 2020, I started seeing like before seeing like bootleg toy makers, I saw like basically wooden artists doing the same thing. They would do a run of 5 or 10 creatures or characters out of wood, and I'm like, that looks like a lot of fun. And I kind of hit a fork in the road in 2020.
Okay.
And before this, I was doing paintings and I was doing graphic design. And I started posting these things online that I was making, and people seemed to really respond to them. So here we are.
It is, that's something that I noticed in the Robot Resurrection show that was just done a couple months ago. Was number one, I couldn't really believe that no one had really done a robot show, and maybe they have on Instagram, and maybe it's something that happened before I was around, or maybe I just didn't catch it. But I think the response to that show was really good, and I think it really kind of brought robots in general to the forefront, and that it really is one of those universal things, right? Like, I think my trivia question for that week was name your favorite robot just in general. And I mean, it went from anything from, real life stuff to cartoon stuff. There's just so much stuff out there. TV shows are always good. But I think it really showed just how popular robots are, man. And you're right. I don't see you're the only wooden robot maker that I've seen.
Edwin.
Oh, Edwin Silence. Yeah.
So I met him at a show a few years ago.
Yeah.
And he was showing like his prints and his art, and I think he had a few little wood figures with him, and that was something that he did as well. I showed up with just basically just the wooden robots. And so we met, and he was super into what I was doing, and I liked his work as well. And he told me to connect with assembly required.
Yeah.
And so I knew nothing about it when I applied, but I thought it looked really cool. And around the same time that I started making these wood robots, I was seeing like online also, like on YouTube and Instagram, like how to make your own resin casted figures. And that year I had done a bunch of resin casting and mold making with silicone, and getting pretty good results with those, and making little robots and painting those, and really enjoyed that whole process. But then
The res
I started making the wood ones at the same time.
Cool. And so is that where the resin kind of stopped for you, or do you still mess with resin at all?
Pretty much stopped. I
Okay.
still cast parts for robots.
Oh, nice.
Like I'll take like circuit boards and
Yeah.
make little molds out of those, and those are easy to just make a mold and pour and pop it out
Yeah.
and attach it to a robot and paint it, and it looks good. So things like that. I'm into recycling. I like recycling
Mhm.
stuff, so that appeals to me. Um,
Yeah, I think was it your robot resurrection piece that it looked like it was made up of recycled parts. I think the limbs were. Is that right?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was awesome, man. That was such a cool look. You know
Thank
what? Gosh, man, there was another artist out there too doing something. Uh, God, I would say semi similar, but I think that was the first time I had actually seen that. That is a super cool look, man. How does that work for you as far as just gathering materials? Is it just whatever you got laying
It's
around?
it's an absolute nightmare. I mean, it's a curse. I mean, this is sitting under my desk.
Oh, okay.
Um, like I'm not an organized person, and I have to adopt organizing type of system. Like,
Oh, wow. Holy
it,
smokes, dude.
oh no, I love it though. It's great. I love it. It's awesome.
Wow. That is cool. That's a lot of stuff.
But no,
Now it's
I save lots of things. I try to go. I go out and buy some stuff. Um, a lot of flea markets and thrifting and yard sales. Those are usually cool. Like
yeah.
broken computers and wires and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. Now, when it comes to what about collecting? Are you a collector yourself?
Yeah, I collect some robots and some toys. I've always was into that stuff. I'm an 80s kid, so I was into He-Man, Transformers, GI Joe, all of that.
Yeah.
Um some of that stuff survived from the 80s with me, and like more stuff I buy now like Transformers a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. That was my next question is if you're still collecting stuff.
Yeah, and definitely like without trading with other makers, I enjoy that as well.
Yeah, there you go. Trading pieces. That's cool. Uh, a lot of your work, I'm thinking of like the Joker piece, man. That's a killer piece. Um, how much influence does just, not social media, but just kind of pop culture in general influence what you do? Or you're a fan of Batman? Does it interest you to make stuff that you're just into as far as character goes?
Yeah, I see like things like that as a challenge. Like,
Mm,
can I do it? Uh,
yeah.
I haven't had too many of them where they just absolutely failed.
Mm,
I can at this point I can kind of tell like with a character, like I don't think it'll translate well into the forms that I usually make. They're kind of blocky and have chunky parts and stuff. So
yeah.
not every character is going to translate, but yeah, just the stuff I love, and I think I gravitate towards villains. Um, yeah, always they're always more colorful and interesting and fun to work on.
Yeah, I agree, man. I think even as a collector, villains are. You're right, man. They just seem to always have a little bit more character to them.
They're just
Something that's a little
usually
bit more
the designs are more interesting. Like Batman's
yeah,
cool, but the Joker comes in like so many different color combinations and
yeah,
I don't know, tones and textures and shapes. And so like yeah, and like that, like I did a Joker
mm,
Jason. So it was a hockey mask with the Joker paint on it.
yeah.
So I like that crossover kind of stuff too.
Yeah, definitely, man. And you know what I was going to say as far as crossover goes, I mean, was it a pretty smooth transition for you going from painting stuff to making wood figures that you're painting on? What were you painting on before you started painting the wooden figures?
Well, I'd done a lot of canvas work and I'd done a lot of mural work. And even before 2020, so back like around 2016 through 2019,
Yeah.
I was building wood canvases and chopping up strips of wood and like assembling these like weird like origami like structures to hang on the wall anyway. So like I think I was already heading down the path that I ended up on anyway, because like again, like going back to recycling, like I would find all kinds of lumber and things that I could chop up and use and turn into art.
Yeah.
Free
Nice.
art supplies.
Free art supplies. Yeah, no kidding. Now, just going back real quick to just the area that you're from, man. You're just outside Charlotte, you said.
Yeah.
And Edwin Salas is from Asheville, correct? Or that's
Yeah,
where he was
that's
for a while. I think he was going to school there.
yeah. I think he lives there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice. So as far as collaborating, do you do much collaborations at all, or is it pretty much just you? Well, first of all, that leads me to an even better question. Your work that you're doing, is it solely just you?
Yeah. I've done collabs in the past on like 2D art
Yeah,
with artists that I know. And that's usually fun.
yeah,
And like I've done mural work with teams before too. Yeah, but as far as like the 3D stuff that I've been making recently, there hasn't been a lot of opportunity to collab yet, but
yeah.
sounds fun. Like I'm talking to a wood carver on who's on TikTok and Instagram, and we had talked about that. I want to give him a shout because
Yeah, absolutely.
he's awesome.
Yeah.
It's like wood carving man on Instagram.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, wood carving man.
Wood carving.
And yeah, his pieces are amazing. And so we talked about like I think he wanted to send me some figures for me to paint because he likes how I paint
Nice.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, your paint apps, what you were saying about just doing individual characters, man. I noticed that a lot of your paint apps, how you're kind of, I mean, it is a very blocky thing, right? But I think your paint style on some of them, you can almost tone down like the edge, right, of that wood by doing that. Is that something that, do you ever try to transform just the blockiness of the wood into something to make it look not so blocky through paint?
Yeah, it starts to take on its own sort of dimensional shape. And but yeah, I mean, I don't know. With every medium, with every art medium, it's helped me to kind of go with the materials I'm working with and let them sort of guide me or whatever you want to call it. Like I don't want to like fight the medium anymore. Like I just kind of go with it. And I don't know, that maybe that doesn't make much sense, but like I've given into the blockiness, I guess, and I go with it.
Michael George says, "What is the materials kind of refreshingly different for this craft?" I agree, man. It's a bunch of different materials. How would you, that kind of make up everything, dude? It's it's 2D art, it's 3D art, it's um, how would you classify your work, man? Like if someone asked you, would you classify it as a toy or wooden art sculptures or not? They're not even sculptures. I mean, what would you classify it as?
Sculpture, because
Yeah.
yeah, like you hear that word and you think like it's got to be made out of clay or marble and it's got to be like some
Yeah.
kind of statue. But like I really kind of think any 2D art kind of fits in, or sorry, 3D art kind of fits into the sculpture category. And
Yeah.
then it just breaks down further from there and can be anything.
Yeah.
Um, if it takes up 3D space, I mean, it's kind of hard not to call it a sculpture. But but on socials, I'll tag like wood art toys, designer toys, just because like to try to get eyeballs on it, really.
Yeah.
Um, so
Exactly, man. That's yeah, oh gosh. I mean, I think as an artist who's making something, not me, but I'm just thinking, what other words would you use to try to even draw a bigger audience? Michael George had a good comment there, said wood toys are the OG, and that's right, man. When you think about that, I'm sure there was something Stormico says rock toys were before that, but then you have wood toys, and then all of a sudden you don't see anything about wood toys for the longest time. And then you get into this kind of community and you see, multiple people that are doing exactly that, just wood toys, which is really cool. How do you split your time between wood, actually doing figures and painting? I know you have a lot of other stuff going on, man. There was, if you go check out Zero Pop Art's online store, you'll see multiple things in there. There's T-shirts, there's paintings, there's original paintings, there's prints, there's robots. How do you divide up time between all that stuff?
well, I just try to prioritize, like if I have a show coming up, so I'll be working on stuff for that. Um, but mainly it's the figures right now. It's the wood robots, and
Yeah.
you had mentioned the retail spot.
Yeah, the marquee there. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I make things for that and just try to like stockpile as many pieces as I can. And I got to have like enough inventory to sit on the website to like justify the website and have enough inventory sitting at the store. And we're looking at getting into some other retail spots too.
Nice.
Up until this point, I had been doing a lot of markets and shows, like probably I don't know, 20 to 30 shows a year. I've kind of slowed that down a little bit now, to like do some traveling and do the retail spot and things like that. Work on the website some more.
Yeah. I'm going to share the screen real quick so I can show that storefront, man. It's a beauty. Let's see here. There we go. So this is what we're talking about right here. What an awesome space, dude.
Thank you. The marquee is an amazing spot.
And what is that exactly? It sounds to me like it's a larger warehouse where it's kind of divided up into cubicle type spaces where you can just kind of sell whatever you want.
Yeah. So I think it's a mix of art.
Ooh, look at that Skeletor. What is that?
Villains.
Dude, that's awesome.
It's a mix of art, vintage antiques, I think some clothing, but like lots of artsy stuff, furniture. So like kind of like an antique warehouse, but like way cooler and like way more fun stuff.
Awesome. That's and so how does that work as far as someone going in there? Is that something that you have to split your time with, where you have to actually man it, or is
no
taking care of that for you?
No, you reserve your spot and sign up with them for a monthly spot and like go in there and stock it as much as you can or as needed.
Dude, these are freaking incredible, dude.
Thank you. That
That,
so
oh my God. Hold up. What the heck? What was that? Was that a guy carrying luggage at the front at the beginning? Right there?
no,
That
no,
was
those are his fists.
okay.
That that was my robot resurrection entry. So he had
That
like
is awesome,
big
dude.
giant fists.
Dang, the Game Boy. Dude, this right here. Man, look, your paint work, dude. Oh my God.
I I live for the painting. I love it. Like
Dude,
I'm a painter at heart.
you know what's crazy to me? It's not crazy to me because you're freaking super talented, but the look that you give these things with the paint app, like you're doing, like some of these look like they have like a really nice patina on them, but they're just, it's wood, it's paint, and you're getting that effect from there. That is awesome. And then you have this guy right here, that's just a super clean black and white look. Man, that is awesome.
That was a custom piece. The dude, the host from Twilight Zone,
Yes.
and he always had the little smoke. He always had his little cigarette.
Right.
Rod Serling.
Oh man, those are
So I
great.
do custom orders too, and that chopper droid, that was a custom order.
And how does it usually go when people approach you about doing a custom? Is it just like, hey, I had this figure in mind. Can you make me basically a wooden version of it? These are awesome.
Well, after seeing like the videos and going on the website, well, when these things started kind of selling, I was
Yeah.
getting emails and messages about, can you do this one, as a gift for somebody?
Oh,
And
sure.
I was a little hesitant at first because historically for me, doing custom commissions for people can be really tricky, and I don't want to disappoint anyone. And like if somebody wants to buy a custom piece of work, like you can see all the other stuff that I make, so you kind of know what you're getting into if you order something.
Sure.
And I haven't had any complaints yet, and I've probably done a few hundred customs at this point,
Wow.
like maybe 200 customs.
Wow. Nice. God, that is good, man.
And it's usually a challenge, like and like with these clowns too. Like, can I like a good challenge to like, can I make this thing look cool? Can I do it in my style?
Yeah. Yeah.
Will it work?
Yeah, exactly. Man. So, I mean, as far as, kind of like the subject of what you're doing, are you pretty much game for anything? If someone hits you up and, and just some random character, you're down to do that? God,
Yeah,
great.
I mean, pretty much. You
Dude,
know,
what a great idea with the screws right here.
the tripod.
Yes, man. Wow, dude.
It's a lot of fun.
All
I get
variations
lost in
in
it and enjoy it a lot.
size. Man, as far as your ideas for stuff, man, is that just never ending? I mean, it seems like for the gamer bots that you have there, I saw several different versions of that. Um, God, it's such a lame question to say, like, oh, where do you get your ideas from? But once you've done that many, like you're up to around 200 customs, you have a lot of really, really cool stuff. What kind of generates, the idea machine to say, you know what, maybe I'm going to try this? Is it just kind of society in general where you have this pop culture and you can kind of pick and choose what you want to do? I mean, the landscape is really wide open, right?
Yeah, I usually I think revert back to stuff I want to do and stuff I love to do. So like I've done, you know, villains, like I was saying, I've done like Star Wars and Marvel and Transformers and just those categories that I like. Yeah, I guess I'm looking to challenge myself on a piece. Like, can I
Yeah.
do it? Can I get it done? Like, will it look good? Um, and then for my own stuff, that's my original pieces. Um, It's a little harder to explain. Sometimes it starts with a sketch. Sometimes I have an idea for a piece and I kind of know what I want it to look like. Other times it's I'll make a blank. I make lots of blanks
Yeah.
and then I'll just start painting on it and
Yeah.
throw a color on it and then find junk and start attaching it and see where it goes.
Yeah. If you make an error on a piece paint wise, how forgiving is wood to correct that? Is it a full paint over, or do you kind of let your paint skills kind of take care of that end of it?
Um, I mean, you can always paint over. I paint
Yeah.
in acrylics, so you can always just paint over. Yeah, I mean, if it was really bad, I guess you could sand it down again and start over. But
Yeah.
yeah, that I don't know. I just kind of I think most of the time I just paint over stuff. Like you showed that Rod Serling
Yeah.
figure. That was one where the challenge with that was the guy always had his arm out in front of him and had like the little smoke. So I had to make a curved arm, like a chunky but curved arm, and like making his hands and making the little cigarette thing in there. So more like the wood sculpting, cutting, that
Sure.
kind of thing is more of the challenge of like when it's a real specific custom to
Yeah.
get right. And I think with that piece, I built it and I started painting on it. And a lot of times I don't know that these things are going to look good until I photograph it and I bring it up on my screen and I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh, this doesn't look right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then I had made an arm for him. I took it off. I sanded it down. I built a different arm, put it on. It's like I was super glad that I did that. Like it sucks starting over, but it looked better because of that.
Yeah. You know what, man? That's a great point too. It's probably not the paint work, right? That would be the part that you hope to be forgiving. But what happens if, let's say, you're sanding the piece, right, and you sand too much, or you cut and you cut too much?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, you're not putting the wood back. Um, what happens then? Is it just a full restart, or do you just kind of rethink your idea?
Sometimes. And like I like glue and nail these together, like with
Yeah.
wood glue and nails. And the parts will split sometimes and then it's do over. Sometimes the nail goes all the way through and it goes into your hand and that's not fun.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Gosh, man, I could see. So this is probably a dumb question, man. Is there a lot of measuring that goes on as far
yeah.
as, yeah.
Yeah. So like the customs that I do have a height to them. And like if somebody's ordering something like specifically a certain height, like I had a few months ago, I had a custom that ended up being like I think almost 30 inches tall.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it was a big, chunky uh, Irish punk rock Celtic surfer.
Okay.
So he was holding a surfboard, and I think it's on my Instagram. I'm not sure, but yeah, that one was a challenge. But a lot of measuring with that one.
Nice. Um,
When somebody orders one and it's a custom, and whatever it is, like that chopper, when you're showing the video, there was that chopper
Yeah.
droid. That was like these are like gifts for people, and I
Yeah.
spent a ton of time on it because like if someone's buying my art and giving it as a gift, like that's really cool, and that really feels good, and I want to make sure it's as cool and as fun as possible.
Yeah, man. One of my questions was going to be, what kind of keeps you going as far as wanting to create more and more. I'm sure that's a part of it, is making
Yeah.
stuff just that people like. I mean, I think probably when you see somebody come up to your table or to your booth, and you kind of see their reaction of like, oh man, those are freaking cool. I'm sure that's part of it. But making a gift for someone that someone's buying for somebody else, and they see it and they say, oh man, I know that they would love that. That's got to be something too, right?
Yeah. And people help me with ideas too. And when I do shows, um, like people come up with good ideas like that I probably wouldn't have thought of for a piece as well.
Yeah. Uh, Going way back now, just getting started in the art world, man. What was kind of your first introduction into just kind of doing art for a living? This is your full-time thing, correct?
Yeah. And I've been a maker forever since I was little. Always doing something, always making something, always drawing, painting, sculpting, what have you.
Yeah.
I went to school for graphic design.
Okay.
And worked in that field for a while. And after that, I was a painter, muralist, artist, kind of part-time-ish with the graphic design being part-time and full-time parent and all that for many years.
Yeah.
But yeah, like painting has always kind of been there. It's always been a part of what I do in some way.
Yeah. You mentioned you're a dad, man. Do the kids ever throw ideas at you like, hey, you should make
Oh yeah.
build a play?
Yeah, for sure. And I show them to them, and I have pictures of when they were real little that I had completely forgotten. We had made a handful of little wood robots just one day. Like, I don't even know where the idea came from. And we were just out in the garage and started assembling things. And that was probably 15 years ago now.
Wow.
And I found those pictures and like, oh yeah, this has just kind of been in the background forever.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's funny how that works. And how about them? Do they ever make stuff with you?
No.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you have kids?
I do, man. They are
Okay.
19 and 17.
Oh, so you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's why I laugh, because I do know.
Yeah.
They're like, hang out with you and do some woodworking. I'll take a
Yeah.
hard pass on that.
Right. I'll like, do you want to like come work for me? Like, I'll pay you, and I'll pay them hourly.
Right.
Like, I made 20 of these. I need you to prime them for me. And then like, I'll get 10 that are done. I'm like, cool. Like, can you do the other 10? Like, no.
Oh man, they're all the same, dude. I swear to God, they are
Right.
all the same when it comes
Right.
to stuff like that. That's just part of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome, man. So I do have 3. You were very nice and sent 3 giveaways tonight.
Yeah.
My stupid ass left
Uh-oh.
those at my house, and they are not in front of me. So anytime that we do a giveaway, we are going to reference the picture. I do have the picture pulled up.
Well, I have lookalikes too.
Oh, perfect. What's the first one you got? Oh man, beauty.
So like little bot, the ones that you have are going to be comparable to this. Like, I think yours, the one you has a pumpkin on it instead of a heart.
Right.
So like, design the thing, the card, packaged, little bot.
Nice, dude. And as far as package design and everything, you're doing that all on your own as well?
Yeah. As far as those and yeah, anything else I do, my little signage for shows and
Yeah.
kind of thing.
I'm going to show the giveaway that we are about to do. Let's see here. It is going to be this guy right here.
Yeah, there's that pumpkin.
Yeah, it's a pumpkin one. It's got the green body with the orange pumpkin and the orange head. This is a zero pop little bot, is what this is. And it's the same size as the one that he just showed. So this is the one that we're going to be spinning for first, is this guy here. And how many numbers did we get up to this week? Let's see here. We got up to... Okay, just want to make sure there wasn't any more that jumped in. 35 on the wheel tonight. Again, great response to the giveaway question this week. Yeah, pumpkins is a winning combination. You got that right. Cool. So let's do the first spin. 35. Let's see. There we go. 1 to 35. Bam. This is for the zero pop pumpkin little robot. It is going to be
a different wheel.
A different wheel than a long time ago. We've been using this one for probably the last 15, 20 episodes, something like that. Number 24 tonight. That is going to be Barbarian Rage. My man. How about that? Scott is in the house.
That's an amazing name.
Oh, dude. Barbarian Rage is legend status, in my opinion, in the resin community. He's got a vinyl, some really cool vinyl pieces. Some of my dopest double cast pieces that I have are by Barbarian Rage, but it's very, very funny, dude. So the question was, I'm so glad I get to read this. The question was, you just got a piece in the mail. When you open it, it's obvious something was broken in shipping. Might be a weapon, might be a limb, but the quality is not an issue. It is just a broken piece. What's your next move? Was it the carrier or the artist's fault? Are you telling the artist that you can return it on your own? Are you thinking refund, self-repair, or full replacement? Awesome. Like I said, that I get to read Scott's answer on here. It's hilarious. And here it is. Barbarian Rage's answer, which also got 17 likes, I should say, which is amazing. First, I'd lay into the artist hard. I let them know what a terrible job they did. Then I asked them how they are going to fix it. Then I immediately reject their solution from via email or DM them until I get blocked. Then I track down my neighborhood postal worker and berate them unmercifully. That usually works. Scott, I am glad you got rewarded for that answer, man. Thank you for that. That was freaking awesome. Barbarian Rage with the pumpkin robot. What's the next one we got, man? Do you have another example, or should I just show the picture?
Yeah, I mean, you can, but these are like comparable too, where they've got the like this little printed kind of look to it, little like
awesome
stamp design on it.
Yeah, awesome. So let me share the wheel again, or actually, we'll show which one we're playing for.
I sell these on my site as like a surprise crate.
Nice. Oh, okay. So like a blind bag. Very cool.
Yeah.
We'll do the green guy right here. This one is very, very similar. It's almost identical, but it's got the yellow stripe across the eyes. Mm-hmm. So this guy with the orange hands and the green body right here. That's going to be green body. I'll write down for that one. Boom. And again, if you end up missing out on one of these tonight and you want to grab one, head over to Zero Pop store. Check them out. There's some really, really cool stuff on there. There's little bots. There's all kinds of awesome stuff. Let's see. We're going to share the screen on the wheel this time. Bam, 1 through 35 again, minus number whatever Scott was, 24, I believe. So 35, and here we go. Good luck. Number 6, early one. Bam. That is going to be 8-Bit Mike. Man.
Another good name.
Yeah, 8-Bit Mike, man. So, dude, 8-Bit Mike, one of the absolute coolest dudes in the scene by far, man. This dude, the stuff that he makes these really so it's like, check this out. So if you were to take like an ice cube tray, right, and fill it up with different kinds of resin and then stick a figure in the top, he's got lots of those. I have a He-Man Battle Cat from him that is basically sunk into like a bread loaf size pan. And so it's this huge chunk of different levels of glow resin with the Battle Cat in the top of it.
They look like they're walking out of a portal or something.
Yeah, absolutely, man. They're super cool. We did a show, man, it was a couple years ago. It was for 8-Bit Mike's birthday, man. Check this out. So we had asked him to come on the show, and he said, I'd like to be on this very specific date. And so we said, sure, absolutely. He came on that date. Come to find out, it was his birthday. And what he had done was he sent us basically a bag of figures. I mean, probably 50, 60 figures of these little things bagged up with custom Toys Alive headers with Crumbs and I's picture on them. It was freaking awesome, dude. I still have a couple of those just as little mementos, but couldn't have gone to a better dude. 8-Bit Mike with the green body little robot. Nice, man. And what's the last one you got there?
Similar to, I'm just going to hold this one up again, which is similar.
Oh, yeah. Very cool. Nice.
Different colors.
Sweet. All right. So we're going to do, we'll share the screen on the giveaway and show this last one real quick. It's going to be this guy right here. So similar to the other one, kind of reverse colors on the face there, but very cool. We'll call this guy Yellow Feet. Yellow Feet guy. All right. Perfect. All right. Last one coming up. One through 35 again. Good luck, everybody. Number 20. That is going to be, oh, that was close. My Little Fluffle. Nice. That is the better half of Plastic Vomit Customs. That's Jason and Nicole, who actually will be on the show next week. You remember them from Assembly Required.
Yeah. Very cool.
Nice, man. Great win. My Little Fluffle also has an account by that name. That's Nicole from Plastic Vomit Customs. Check her out. She does custom My Little Ponies, and they're done super, super well. She also has a hand in the Plastic Vomit scene. And everybody knows they just make a ton of awesome 3.75 figures.
For sure.
So give them a follow, take them a look. Awesome, man. 3 giveaways. Thank you again for that, dude. 3
no problem.
If you guys are looking for one of those and did not grab one tonight, make sure that you check out Zero Pop's store and check those out. They have those robots, larger robots. There's paintings on there. Like I have it down here at the bottom, paintings, prints, stickers, buttons, keychains, gift cards. If you're interested in one of those for a gift for somebody, those are always good. T-shirts.
We have it all.
Born there. Anything else, man, before we move you on out of here?
No, that's it. This was fun. I'm glad I came on here.
Yeah, me too, man. I would say, without really thinking too hard about it, I think you're the first artist on here who's making, exclusively wooden toys. thank you for your time, man. And what I think is really cool is that it's not just the wooden robots, man. It's like you look at the wooden robots and you're like, oh, that's a cool idea. But then you look at the paint apps and you're like, wow, man, there's a lot of awesome work going on at the same time in the robots. The fact that you have that storefront, that's a beauty. Your AR table was awesome, man. Was that your first show that you had done at AR?
Yeah, first of many, I hope. Yeah, I hear that there might be good and better things in the works for that show coming up.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, which is very exciting too. But for your first go around at a show, man, I think it was definitely an eye-catching booth that you had there. Table looked great. Look forward to seeing you at the next one for sure, man. And hopefully there'll be some shows that come up in between.
Yeah, I was glad to meet everybody there, and
yeah,
I felt really super welcome, and I appreciate this. I feel really welcome by you, and
awesome.
I think everything you're doing with the show is just great. I love watching it.
Thanks, dude. I appreciate that. It's definitely awesome to have you part of the scene. It's definitely unique stuff. I'm glad that it can really showcase some of your talent, man, because there's a ton of it. Again, thank you for the giveaways, dude. Bringing 3 giveaways. You're a freaking all-star, man. I appreciate it.
Oh, you bet. Anytime.
All right, buddy. Good luck to you with your future endeavors. Hopefully we will be seeing each other and chatting in the near future, man.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Right on. Appreciate you, man.
All right. Bye.
Zero Pop Toys. Zero Pop Art. Zero Pop Art making wood toys. How about that? Check out that account. Awesome, dude. Really cool, unique figures. And like I said, man, the paint apps are really something else. Zimitco. Let's just keep on moving right along. Are you ready, my man? Let's do it. Boom.
Oh. Yeah.
He has entered.
Hello.
What is up, dude? What is up in the kingdom of Zimitco?
Same old, just working, just,
Come on, man.
Plugging
With that
away.
introduction, and you're like, same old. Oh, man. What's been happening? You got this beautiful insect thing that you sent me. We're going to take a look at that in a minute.
Yeah.
That is the first venture into vinyl.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. And the beautiful insect, dude. I mean, let's, there you go. Jazzwiz says, our Lord. I'm just going to start showing some of these. Now, these are going to be in the Toys Alive shop on Saturday. They're going to go on sale at 10 a.m. Any other details behind that, man, you're going to have to let them know. I am going to show this header real quick. Let's just start with the header. So that's the header. It's beefy. Oh, it says beautiful insect fits in your dreams, but lives in the reality of everyday bold situations around the earth and the universe. While you can always deny its eventual existence, it's right here in front of you the entire time that you are not looking. Bam. All right, that's the story on the back. Let's talk about this header real quick, though, man. This is magnetic. You guys can see that. The bag fits in between there and then just snaps shut. What's up with this, man? You're getting all fancy.
Yeah. I don't do packaging a real lot, so when I do it, I try to do something, a little more to it.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's a great header card. This is the bag. There is some in, we'll go through all of them. There is some in gold.
I like to have things so you can take them out of the package and put them back, because you can open that Ziploc and take it out, and it's a sturdy enough bag that it's you can put it back in and click the header back on.
Yeah,
it'll work the same.
Exactly. Well, and the other thing is you don't have to ruin the header card. You know what I mean? This is always this is obviously a really well done, high quality shit right there, and you don't want to have to rip that or pull staples out of it or anything like that. So the magnetics work on there.
You know what else was cool about that? When I go to shows, if I can take a piece of grid wall, like if I drive, I have magnetic tool holders. I zip tie some of those to the grid wall, and those can just stick to it without hooks.
Oh man, that's a great idea.
Yeah, so it just looks really clean and kind of mysterious of how they're stuck there.
Yeah, exactly. Almost like
And
they're just
people ask if they could look at it. I say, yeah, pick it up, and they're like, I say, no, just pull it. And so it's kind of fun.
That's awesome. So I'm going to actually take this one out. It is just a nice Ziploc at the top.
Those bags are cool too because they can stand. And I made it. If you don't pinch the header all the way closed,
Yeah,
it can balance good. So you can stand it with the header sticking up
yeah,
without it leaning on anything. So it's kind of cool.
dude. That's a great point. All right, that's something that I never really talk about, is because a lot of the times when I like to display stuff, you have to take it out of the packaging. You don't have to, but if sometimes if you want it to stand up, you do. This is one of the wide bottom bags, so you can actually stand that up. Bam, right?
Yep.
There you go. Awesome figure right here, man. Tell me about the beautiful insect. Woo.
Oh, it was something I did in resin a while ago. Just one of my many whatever things. And it was just something that stuck with me. So when I was thinking of vinyl, I had that on my mind.
God, these are good. The spikes, I remember seeing a video that you had done where you put the little countersink in there and then screwed those in. That's working really good, dude. That looks that's awesome. Are these metal, or what are these? Are these plastic?
No, they're metal. You can unscrew
They're
them.
metal. Oh, you're right. Look at that.
Yeah. They're just little grub screws in there, epoxied from the inside.
Nice.
So like during the first interview, that's what I was doing. I was putting spikes in some of these and gluing them together. So these are going to be these are going to be really long spikes on ones I'm working on now. But then I can glue the grub screws in. And if anyone wants to do that, they're just 3mm grub screws, like metric M3s. And all the spikes and everything you get for clothing and accessories and stuff, those fit those screws. It's pretty easy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. So we're going to
just epoxy them from the inside, and you can take them, you could paint, then you could screw the spikes on after.
That's awesome, man. And the thing is, dude, like you could actually display it just like this, where you don't have to take it out of the bag. I mean, you get the best of both worlds, man. It's on display, but you can display it with the packaging as well. Like, look at that. That's a super, super clean setup, dude. That's a great idea, man.
Yeah, I like to have, the person that gets it can decide how it is,
Yeah,
take
exactly.
it out, throw out the package, keep the package, whatever.
All signed, all one of ones. These are. So there's 10 different ones, and we're going to give one away tonight. Here's another one. You know what? Actually, dude, let me do this. Let me put the correct banner up there. We should probably do that, right? Beautiful insect vinyl figures available this Saturday, Toys Live Big Cartel Shop, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Each figure is a one of one, custom painted. Bam, there's another one. All come with a beautiful insect resin piece, which I will show here momentarily. God, there's another one. That's a beauty right there. And are you doing all the airbrushing yourself?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I always do everything myself. This is the only project I've ever done that involved anyone else.
Yeah.
That's like a difficult thing for me because I couldn't pull the vinyl.
Oh, gotcha.
So, I couldn't make the molds. I couldn't pull the vinyl. And that's really weird for me because I usually, I'll do the design. I'll print it. I'll make a mold. If I'm molding it, I'll cast it. I'll paint it,
Yeah.
I usually do everything.
Yeah.
So it was a weird thing to give someone else control over something. It was a different experience for me.
Yeah, man, that makes a lot of sense because normally I think, when you make your stuff, you just go and make it, right?
Yeah. I mean like if I draw a design and decide I want to make it, like I've got a ton unmade on my iPad, but if I decide I want to make it, I'll print it the next day, and the next day I'll make a mold if I'm going to mold it, and that'll be my Friday drop,
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's the way I do
exactly.
stuff. Like I've got a drop tomorrow, and I'm I'm working on the one for next week right now.
Oh man. So I saw your post about that's going to be a 3-figure set.
Oh, well, that's not what this is, but like
Okay.
my 3-figure set. So these are for my drop tomorrow. So I did something like this a while ago that was called Project 9. And these are Project 6. So it's just a real abstract. I don't know which way I'm going. There it goes. So that's number 6. And this is number 66.
Nice.
And this is number 666. It's just, see, now I wasn't going to do that because that's kind of corny to do like the 666 thing. And when I was in high school, people did try to kill us with their cars and shotguns because they thought we were Satanists. So I kind of, I don't know, small town stuff in the big, Satan scare time. But, it's the other ones were Project 999, and since they're related and 9 upside down is a 6, so it just made sense. Everything has to blend together with me, so
that makes sense.
It just
man.
made sense to be a 6.
Yeah,
and plus this one kind of has devil horns sticking through its hands.
Yeah, that was cool. God,
just worked out. Yeah, this was a cool sculpt. I was just trying to push, what a printer can do, because I don't print with supports.
Gotcha.
So I always try to push the limits of that.
That last one that you had, that's wild, dude. That almost looks like a piece of coral or something.
Yeah. And so this is my next week thing, which is it's a Project 6 ape. So it's this combined with my regular like Renzi ape.
Oh wow.
So I don't know.
And is that in the drop tomorrow?
Not those. These guys are.
Those guys
I've got 45 pieces in my drop. Because that's just how it goes. And I had like a stockpile of stuff that I'd been making because like I'd been casting like a bunch of like bootleg religious stuff like this guy.
Yeah.
I'd been casting like a lot of that stuff while I'm casting other stuff because that's how I do stuff. I like to do 4 or 5 things at a time. Like all the time.
Yeah.
Like when I'm painting, like I have trays of stuff everywhere. Like if I'm casting, I have like a lot of molds, sometimes 2 pressure pots at a time. It's just how I work. It's how I like doing stuff. And so I had a ton of these guys, these religious guys, done, and it's like I've got too fucking much for a drop. Like, so I just threw them up on my website like Tuesday or something. Like I'd been working on those like a couple weeks, like while doing drop stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't know. So I had like another like 25 things Tuesday.
Oh my God, dude. When we were talking earlier and you said I have 45 pieces, I'm like, you said I only have 45 pieces. I'm like, only 45? I'm like, is that a lot to you or is that a little to you?
It's medium, but like,
oh shit. 45
here's my
pieces
thing.
medium.
I've had kind of like an existential crisis like since 5 points because like I bring too much shit, like especially to 5 points because it's just in the car.
Yeah.
And like I could put as much as I want in there. And so like you've seen what I have at Decon, but it's like a lot more than that. It's probably like, I wouldn't say double, but close to that.
Yeah.
But it's like a lot of shit and it confuses people and like it's hard to look at, and I know that. And like I know all that stuff. I was talking to Josh, one of the guys that owns the Clutter Gallery, and he's like, dude, just archive most of what you make and only have a little bit each week. And it's like, so I'm thinking about that, and it's like I should really make less, but like how I like to make things again is I like to make a real lot at a time, and it all flows together, and I do a drop every week because it's all like a continuous project. Like when I take a break, like if I'm going to do a show or something, it screws me up for a while. And I don't know. It's some mental condition. I don't know what it is, but it's mental condition. It's how I'm comfortable working, right?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely.
So I've been thinking about him talking that way a lot. And like when I had my solo show again, he was like, why do you make so much stuff? And it's like, what else am I going to do? Like,
I got nothing else to do.
no, I mean, I could find stuff to do, but I mean, right now, this is what I'm doing. And I'm going to
Yeah.
do it all the way, you know? And I can get struck by lightning in a week and then I might not be able to work anymore, you know? I mean, stuff can
Yeah.
happen. But
Yeah.
if I'm gonna do something like this, I'm gonna do it all the way. Like 100%, you know? And that's how I'm comfortable and I think that's okay. So I'm gonna make fucking 45 things. And
Yeah.
like that's okay. If they don't sell, they can go in boxes, but you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know how much I have on my site now. I'm approaching 2,000, but like I've sold a lot more than that. Like I have sales. Like I've been doing pretty good online,
Yeah.
and you know I've got like I'm really thankful for the regulars I have. I have people that buy stuff almost every week. I'm like
Wow.
grateful for that. I have people that'll buy something once a month. I'm grateful for all them. You know, it's humbling, but and then I'll get weird random orders. One day I'll get like a $300 order and it'll be like all weird old stuff that I forgot about, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like, it's not bad having like a shit ton of stuff on my website. Like it
Dude, it is
works.
it's the best. It's the funnest store to go look around in.
It's so
Um,
stupid, isn't it?
dude, but there's so many categories, right? Like you see that and you're like, oh man, I wish that maybe this, he did something like this and it was a different color like this. Shit, just look a little further and you'll find it. It's in there.
Yeah.
But it's a really, really fun shop to look at. Your prices are always incredible as far as the amount of material that you're using. The fact that you ship these things from New York blows me away, dude. Because I know me personally, I've ordered boxes from you that probably weighed, 5 to 10 pounds easy of just pure resin pieces.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, shit. If you have the time to make it and you can afford to do it, then why not? Man, if
Well,
that's
and it fuels itself. Like I don't put any money into it
Sure.
anymore. I mean,
Sure.
with the arcade, that's how I grew that business. Like we put our own money into it for a few years and then it paid for itself for a few years. And that's been going on 15 years now. And
Wow.
like we have ups and downs. Like right now is a down part. Like at the beginning of
Sure.
summer, it's always low, then it'll pick up. And then at the beginning of school years, it's low and then it picks up.
Sure.
So it's a struggle right now. It's a struggle sometimes, but we don't put our own money into it ever. And so I'm at that point with Zymont now where it like I have a bank account with a positive balance for it. So,
Sure.
it's working. I don't really get paid from it very often, but that's okay. Like
Yeah.
I can order a $600 5 gallons of resin when I want to.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I
like
mean, shit, man,
if I
just the
can do
fact.
that and do
Yeah.
what I want to do every day, it's pretty good.
And like you said, man, if it pays for itself and you've kind of reached that pinnacle of paying for itself and you're able to do it every day, I think that's saying a lot, dude, that you're making stuff and selling stuff every day and it's paying for itself. I think there's a lot of artists out there who would love to be in that situation. Just to, like you said, to be in the positive and have it kind of pay for yourself or have it pay for itself as far as materials and shipping and whatnot. But yeah, man, I mean, with 2,000 pieces in that store, there you will find something in there, whether it's ceramic, resin, vinyl, rubber. I mean, God, dude, there's so much in there, dude.
Yeah,
Where do we've talked about this before, but dude, where do you keep all that stuff?
well, I own a really big building here,
Yeah.
and I just have containers with the names written on the sides and a real lot of them. Sometimes it's like a hide and seek thing where it takes me 15, 20 minutes to find a piece, especially if it's an old like plastic 3D printed piece.
Yeah.
Those are all at home. Like I have a closet full. We have a couple shelves. I don't know. I've got quite a bit of. They're spread out, so those are hard to find. I always get my wife to help me find them, and
Yeah.
like
Dude,
some of the older stuff. Like I've been doing this a long time. Some of the older stuff is like 2017, the really early stuff,
Yeah.
16, and that's not dated on the bottom. And so some of that stuff, like, it's embarrassing to me when I sell, so I put newer stuff in with it for free.
Oh, nice.
So so if you want free stuff, order something really old. I'll send you free stuff too.
Oh man. I'm gonna keep on going through some of these vinyls. There's this guy here. Bam. Again, these are all going to be in the shop on Saturday. This was awesome one, this bright pink with the purple.
I think that one has color shifting paint on it.
Oh, nice. Very cool.
Which is my own Wonder Vinyl, or Vinyl Wonder Vinyl, whatever it is, mixes.
Nice.
I mix my own pigments, and well, I don't make the pigments. They're pigments that other companies make, and I make, vinyl paint with them.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I've got like 60 something colors I've made now.
Man, this guy with the spikes here. Those are great. So, what's the deal with vinyl, man? Are you gonna keep on diving into vinyl, or is this kind of a one and done for the vinyl for you?
Yeah, I'm gonna do more. I go back and forth between wanting to do a really complicated big thing, and like, I don't know if I'm gonna do that next or a few really small ones. I'm not sure, but yeah, it's definitely something I want to do again. Yeah, Paul at Mile High makes it really easy. He's real good to work with. He's a good guy.
Nice. I was going to ask you who was doing your vinyl. So that's right here in Colorado. Is that correct?
Yeah. He's real decent to work with. I actually want to do another run of these. He does this amazing marbling, and I want to get him to do. I have one. He made me one marble that's just like amazing.
Oh shit!
Right? Yeah,
Dude.
and I don't usually keep anything I make, but I mean, I didn't really make this. I look at this as something that he did. Like, that's his skill that did that marbling.
Yeah.
So I talked to him at 5 Points about it. He's gonna do. I gotta email him, but he's gonna do me a run of just marbled. Then I'm gonna like not paint too much.
Yeah, that's awesome.
His marbling is just beautiful. He's really skilled at it.
Yeah, dude. I think I have a couple pieces from him and Ophelia.
Yeah.
And those are always freaking beautiful. Ophelia Toys, by the way, check them out on. They just did a Toys on Tap. Great interview there.
Yeah.
Mario Bobo, what's up, dude? And here's also something that comes with the Beautiful Insect is the Beautiful Insect resin. This is probably what, 3.75, 4 inches almost.
It's exactly 3.75. I did that just to be kind of like funny. Because I don't make action figures, so I keep saying in it you get a 3.75 for free.
Dude, that's awesome.
See, and if you look at that, the sculpt is a little different because I changed it for the vinyl. So that's the original sculpt. So you get one of the originals too. So it's because I always have to have things tie together. See how his wings are different in the back, and
oh, gotcha. Yeah.
Stuff's just a little changed, but that's the original one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and those are all 101s too.
Awesome.
I just made 100 101s.
Because why
a few
not?
days and painted them.
Yeah, because why not?
Yeah.
You also get the Zymont stickers, plenty of those in there. So with the vinyl,
those are all exclusive stickers to that vinyl.
Oh, nice. That's a good one. Dude, I think you make your own stickers, yeah?
Yeah.
How do you do that?
With a Cricut machine?
Yeah, I freaking knew it, man. I said, I bet it's a Cricut, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, so I print them out, laminate them, and then cut them. But like, that's how you make the sparkly ones and everything. It's like a lamination.
Nice. Very cool. I'm sure that saves a ton on the prices of ordering from a company.
It's actually, if you order stickers, it's cheaper if you order like a lot. Like when I do shows, and you know how I hand stickers out to everyone that goes by.
Yeah.
Those are cheaper, but I mean, I'm buying 500 at a time. But
Nice. So Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, Zimitco with the vinyl Beautiful Insect, which comes with a free 3.75 resin action figure in the form of a beautiful insect.
A non-articulated action figure.
There you go. Non-articulated. Who needs it anyways?
When I was doing those Astro Apes, the last one that had the really fancy packaging that swung open and everything, really
Yeah.
big, I had on the top non-articulated, like it was a feature.
Non-articulated. Yeah, there you go. Did you jump in the giveaway this week?
I did.
What was your answer?
I don't remember.
Perfect. Even
I
better.
think I was number 8.
Oh, you're number 8, so you're down here towards the bottom.
So if I win my own thing, don't send it to me.
Wouldn't that be funny?
Because I generally don't keep anything I make, like I said.
Oh,
Once I'm done with it, I'm done and I'm ready to move on.
Yeah.
Once in a while, I'll keep a messed up prototype.
Yeah, just for
but not often.
Yeah. Your answer was, I hate if something breaks that I ship. I try to way overdo bubble wrap and keep it so it can be keep it so it can be reused. If I get something broken, I normally just fix it and don't worry about it. Yeah. I mean, shoot, man, I think that's a really good, freaking model to live by if you're selling stuff and shipping it, is to overpack.
Yeah. I mean, bubble wrap is really cheap.
Yeah.
It's kind of sucky because you're sending a bunch of extra plastic, but I try not to tape it. If I do tape it, I put a little loop at the end of the tape so you can pull it off and have a clean piece of bubble wrap.
Yeah.
So I hope a lot of people reuse it.
Yeah, definitely, dude. I the stuff that you put in this box, I rolled that right up. I'll be reusing that. It's the same stuff that I use.
It's really not that much to pack your stuff good.
It's really not, man. I think, I got a huge, I did not realize how big this roll of bubble wrap was that came from Amazon, but it was actually 2 rolls in a box. And I came home and there's this ginormous box on my porch. And I think that whole box, dude, it was like $30, man. And I've been using that stuff for over a year for sure. I mean, I don't send a whole lot of stuff out, but I mean, you buy it once and you're good for a while if you're only sending out a couple things a week. So
I used a whole roll in my claim sale after 5 points.
Oh, dude, I bet.
Yeah.
I bet, man. Dude. And speaking of 5 points, dude, what a beautiful display you had, dude. That
Thank
was
you.
freaking awesome. How long did that take to set up?
Oh, 2-3 hours.
Oh my God, man. I've always wondered this. Has it ever happened before, man, where you bump into something or somebody bumps into something and you get that domino effect? I mean, you have so many pieces out there.
Yeah. It didn't happen this year, but last year I was on a corner by a door and people kept coming through and like turning and talking to each other and hitting stuff with their bags. A couple of things broke. But I don't know. I don't really care. That's another thing. Like Josh at Clutter said that I was the only one with my stuff not covered. Like at the end of the day, people put stuff over it.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, if someone wants something that bad, like they can have it. Like,
there's so much stuff. Would you even notice that it was gone?
Much stuff. I would, but like I wouldn't really care because like if someone wants something I made so bad that they're gonna steal it, like that's a pretty high compliment.
Yeah, man. For sure. I agree. I think
of course they're probably gonna go to another table and buy like a $500 vinyl.
Of course they didn't
and
have
like
money.
I'm not gonna give this guy any money.
Yeah.
I lost $25 at 5 points. That was my total.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Now looking at it like that, is that disappointing? I mean, you're laughing it off now, right? Which is cool.
Well,
I mean,
it kind of is, but I handed out a lot of cards and stickers.
Yeah.
I know I've gotten sales from it already.
Right.
my claim sale afterwards made up for it. But it's a lot of freaking work because I bring a lot of stuff, and it's not, it's not just a couple boxes. I had 4 suitcases full of stuff. No, wait, I had 5 suitcases this time because I had one that was just vinyl.
Oh wow.
So, it's a lot of freaking work. So it's a little disappointing, but like, I don't know. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah, man. And I've always said that you can probably look at going to things like that, two ways. You can either go into it hoping to, that the only way that you're going to be happy is if you come out in the black, as financially, and it's like making money or bust, which I think anybody is really setting themselves up for failure if you do that, because it's
Yeah,
hard.
I mean, you can't expect that all the time, and like, there's
Exactly.
so much stuff there, and like, you got to be happy if people are just checking out your stuff and thinking about it, right?
And exactly, dude. And that was my next point, was that there's got to be a monetary value on the marketing aspect of it, right? Like you're on
Yeah.
a huge stage there. There's tons of eyes seeing your stuff. You handed out a ton of stuff. You're already getting sales from it. That's got to be, you have to attach some sort of value on that for it to
See,
all make
now, and
sense.
a mistake I made, and I learned this, and my wife later said, yeah, I was going to say that, but I didn't want to say anything. Um, but I made 130 little APEDs, and I was giving those out left and right.
Oh boy.
And see, that's a marketing thing that I learned a hard lesson. You don't give something that's an actual thing away, a sticker, like whatever. But like, they were finished. They were cast in like multi pores. They weren't
Right.
just really quick things. They were like clear coated with different coatings that give them like reflectiveness and whatnot. They had rhinestone eyes. They were
Yeah. Yeah.
actual completed things. If I was going to sell them on my website, they're like $12 or something. They're not expensive. But I think giving that to everyone, it's like they kind of already have like a little souvenir from your table. Where I had stuff that was
Straight
really
up.
cheap. I had some like $10 things. I had, you know, and I think that I had less sales because of that. And it makes sense, like psychologically and everything. I don't regret it. It was kind of fun to do.
Yeah.
So like I had like a popcorn bucket full of them, and people would walk by and they'd say, "You want a free ape head?" And they'd be like, "What?" They're like, "Yeah, just an ape head." And I had like a big banner with a giant ape head and back that I got too. Oh,
Oh,
I
that's
didn't I didn't subtract the cost of my new banners. So I actually lost like a 225 maybe.
that jumped up pretty quick.
It's all good. But
Yeah, I mean, but again, there's value
it's
to just being out there.
yeah, and there's value to living the way I do, you know.
Sure.
There's value to having the privilege of coming to work every day and doing whatever the fuck I want.
Straight up, dude. I
There's
couldn't
there's
agree
a
with
huge value to that. And
you. Yeah.
like I don't know. I'm just so grateful for everyone that buys stuff. Thank you. And like everyone that shares my posts and stuff, because that makes it so I can do that. And
Yeah.
like it blows me away that people actually want stuff I make.
It's dope, man. I was talking to Eddie the other day, and we had almost the same conversation. He was saying that he was not really getting flack, but people talking about, oh man, Eddie, I wish, how do you do what you do? I wish I could be, do what you do and just hang out all day. And it may look like he's hanging out having fun, and he is hanging out having fun, but he's also working at the same time.
Oh yeah.
And he set himself up to be like that, and you have too, where you are making money off the video game thing. I mean, what a cool industry to be in. I'm sure there's ups and downs in that, like you said, for the arcade, but just to have an arcade business in general is freaking awesome, man. That alone is like not going to work, at least on the outside. I'm sure when you dive into it and the financials and whatnot, you really kind of get into some nitty gritty shit. But
Yeah. Well, I mean we have a big video game store too.
yeah.
So they support each other. One goes up, one goes down. Like in the
Sure.
summer, we'll sell less games in the store, but the arcade will be a lot more busy.
Yeah.
And there's days when the arcade does like $6, and it's like, how much electric do you think it is to have 130 TVs on all day? like tube TVs, not LCDs. Like,
Oh
you know,
God, dude.
I
Yeah.
just paid a $2,300 electric bill.
For 1 month.
It's not 1 month. They
Oh,
changed our meters to some smart meter thing, so it's 2 months and 20 days or something. And like,
oh,
but
dude.
it's still a huge freaking bill. And in the summer, our average bill will be about 1,200 a month with the AC and everything, trying to keep it cool. You know,
Yeah.
but it's all up and down. It works out. Everyone gets paid up front, so
Yeah.
it
Those
works.
smart meters, man. Those smart meters. I when they switched my house over to one of those, dude, I had heard from somebody, they're like, oh yeah, you better check those things out. So I started doing all this research online about these smart meters and how if they're in a certain proximity to you, now I don't know, you can call me conspiracy theorist or whatever, but there were some harmful health things going on with those smart meters. So I opted out of that
Huh.
thing ASAP. That
Huh.
being said, since I opted out of it, my bill has been totally fucked from day one, dude. Like they cannot get it right. We have PG&E out here, and it's just, God, they're rough as a company in general. And electric is just, I can't even imagine, dude, having that on all day. God,
Oh,
your
it's
meter's
so
probably
loud. And
just spinning.
it's you should see it. It's like it's crazy. It's just, you could see it like spinning, like
Yeah.
it's just the way it is.
Do you, and so then do you just unplug everything at night when you guys go home?
You just turn the breakers off.
I turn the breakers off. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, they're all, those outlets are wired to breakers I turn off. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I paid that big bill and then a survey popped up and I said, "Would you recommend NiceEgg? That's our company," to a friend. And it's like fuck no. Like I'm not gonna, like, it's a monopoly. There's no choice. Like they're the only power company here. It's like, why are you even taking a fucking survey? You don't care. And so I put
Dude.
0 out of 10 and it said, "Can you give us more information?" I typed, "You suck." I
Yeah.
hit enter. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. I could think
It,
they're great and it doesn't matter. Like,
exactly, man. Exactly. And that's the thing, dude. They got a monopoly, right? We only have PG&E out here, but if you just go up the road 30 minutes to Sacramento, you have SMUD, which is a different another company, but they're always, from what I hear, they're way cheaper than PG&E. It's crazy, man. It's a racket when you start looking into the fires and all that stuff that were going on out here. I mean, there's lots of different reasons for that, but PG&E played a part in that. There's been some underground pipes that have blown up. I'm not saying that that's their fault, but I mean, shit, it kind of is.
yeah, it's a
So
responsibility. I mean,
yeah.
they're taking the money in.
Anyways, look at us. We're talking about freaking electrical companies. So let's get to the giveaway, man. This is the beautiful insect giveaway that we're doing tonight. I picked this one because it's got the pink and the purple and the blue colors on it, which I think is freaking awesome, man. That's kind of show colors right there. This is an absolute beauty. This is definitely going to come with one of the 3.75 static action figures in the form of a beautiful insect. So here we go. Let's get these. Let's get this thing out there. Let me share the screen real quick. Number picker. There we go. 1 through 35 again for the Zimitco Beautiful Insect vinyl. How tall is this thing?
It's 8 inches.
8-inch vinyl, pulled by Mile High Safubi, right here right there, Colorado. Winner on this one is going to be number 15. And that one is, look at this, Kajiki Toys. Yeah, buddy. Bam, Kajiki Toys. Let's look at Kajiki's answer. Kajiki's answer was, now this was regarding receiving a broken piece in the mail. He says, that all comes down to the individual artist and my relationship to them. If it was the carrier's fault or a packaging issue. I once got a sealed on-card figure from a Southeast Asian artist that arrived with a broken arm. Can't open the bubble to fix the figure without destroying the card. I'm not going to ship it all the way back to him to fix or ship me another one, so it's got to live as a broken piece. I also potentially go a little overboard on my packaging and shipping to avoid this kind of thing. Bam. So great answer there, man. I mean, sometimes you got to weigh your options. If it's I'm sure the shipping on that piece that he got was not cheap. So to have to pay it again, and have the artist have to pay it again. I mean, at that point, you got to look at like, shit, man, how much did this piece really cost me? And now we're doubling, tripling that in shipping costs. So it lives as a broken piece. I too have some pieces and cards that are sealed and you can't open up, and they have a broken piece. And
Okay, do you want to see my big broken piece? Hold on.
Yeah.
I actually just started gluing it together.
Oh boy. Yeah, broken arm. Yeah, and I've seen a lot of people. Somebody had a really good answer on there. We'll go through them, but somebody had a really good answer about. I think it was 8-Bit Mike. Maybe he had a answer about if it was a broken piece, it just lives as a broken piece and it has a story behind it now, which is very cool. Oh my god, dude!
So I bought this piece of. It was probably like a carnival prize.
Yeah,
it's freaking amazing. It's like the greatest ape thing I've ever seen, and I like flipped when I saw it.
What's that made of?
Plaster. It's chalkware.
Okay.
So the foot's broken off. This arm I just glued back on. The rest is like dust. So I think what I'm going to try to do is like reform it with plaster and sand it down and make it the right texture and repaint it. But like this was in a box with 3 squares of bubble wrap, about 5 of those cushion things, and then just some paper. And like, look at how delicate that is.
And so you bought this?
I bought it on eBay.
You bought it on eBay and they shipped it. It was whole when you bought it.
Yeah.
And it showed up and it was just a piece of shit.
Oh, it was just, the box was rattling.
Oh my God, dude. That's shitty, man.
And I've been devastated about it. I just actually started gluing it together today.
So in that case, and what did you do?
Well, I didn't call them a motherfucker, which was my first instinct. That was actually, I typed it and I backspaced. And I think I said, have you ever shipped anything before? And that's all I said to them. And they said, yes, we sell thousands of products, blah, 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 blah. You know, and it's like, I think at that point I said, well, you don't know how to fucking pack anything. And I think I may have said more swear words, but they said, well, we can resolve this. And they said, well, you can fucking like refund me right now.
Yeah, it's like, really? Do you have another one that's in perfect
condition? And that's not the point. Believe me, I watch for ape things. And I've never seen anything like this before.
Yeah.
Like, how many of these survived? This is probably from the 30s. Like, it's 30s or 40s. Like, early 40s or late 30s, probably.
Right.
And like, this should be a fucking museum piece. Like, it's amazing. Did you see that face, the paint on it?
Yeah.
Like, it's awesome, just incredible. Like the really weird shape, the weird flatness of the body. Like, it's just a strange thing someone made. Like, how many did they make? I don't know. But like, it's just a real weird object.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It really offended me that they would treat it that way.
Yeah. And, going back to the question, man, I think that would really be my only beef. I mean, I don't think anybody is, of course, when you see something like that, my first instinct is to say, well, they didn't mean for it to break. Nobody wants to send something to somebody that they buy and it ends up broken.
Yeah, but
packaging like that.
If they packaged the hell out of it and it broke, that's just the mail.
Sure.
But like, that should have had almost a whole roll of bubble wrap on it. Then that should have been put in a box, and that should have been put in another box, and that should have been surrounded by bubble wrap. And that's how you ship something delicate like that. Like, there's a way to ship anything.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like, it's got to be suspended in there so it absorbs the shock like the bubble wrap is supposed to do. But seriously, that bubble wrap, I mean, it wasn't even wrapped around it. It was just laying on one side, with a couple cushions on the other side. It's going to break. Like, know, you can't expect the mail system to treat things nice. You just
actually, you know what, dude? Check this out. The box that you sent, you can't really see it. But when I got it, This is how it was.
Yeah, and I'm not
That's
surprised.
how,
But I knew they
yeah,
would be okay. I didn't wicked overpack those because they're puffy,
yeah,
and they have the air in the packages, and I wasn't
yeah,
that worried about it, or I would have double boxed it and all that. But
yeah. It's just you can never tell with
you
the
got to
packages.
expect things to be treated rough. That's just the way it is.
Exactly, man. Especially, and you would think that the more delicate the piece is that you buy, the better packaging there would be. I think as the buyer, you always expect it to be more.
And
And like,
you know what the kicker was? I looked at where it was shipped from. It was like an hour and a half away from me. It's like
oh,
I would
dude,
have
you would have.
fucking
I
picked
know
it
you would have
up.
driven.
I would have picked it up like no problem. I'll be there tomorrow.
Yeah, straight up, man.
Like I'll pay you $50 extra to not ship it to me. I'll pick it up. I'll do reverse shipping.
Oh man. So your drop tomorrow. You got now. This has been pretty consistent for a while now, right? Friday drops.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yes.
Friday drop tomorrow on the resin pieces.
Ever since the last time I was on your show, I missed one drop, and that's because I was doing that claim sale.
Oh God. Oh, okay. Wow. Only one, huh?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
I don't know.
How
Well,
dare
I was
you?
doing the claim sale and I had stuff all over the place and it was, tedious. I took pictures of everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've got some good stuff. What do I got? I got a popcorn bucket full of Jesus.
Oh wow. Nice. And these are
Which
for
was
tomorrow's drop.
yeah. This was a bootleg. It was a thing that I had the back wasn't flat and I wanted to make an open back mold. So I had to build it up in wax and carve it down. It took a real long time to get it ready. Some bootlegs are just simple, but this one took a while. I've got those. I've got cool lions that
Oh
are
God, dude, those are
made out of
great.
paperweights. I've got monkeys that are a bootleg paperweight. Try not to knock over my rose. I've got owls. These are all paperweights from the 60s. I just like the style. Their style is really consistent. I'm thinking one artist did all these because it's got the same consistency to the look.
Sure.
It's just real, I don't know.
Nice.
I've got those and I've got my Satan project that just turned out to be
Satan project.
I don't know.
Awesome. All right.
Yeah,
Well, we
people
got
really did try to kill us in high school because we were Satanists.
Well,
I had this friend, his name was Elvin Steenrod, and he had this homemade car. I tell stupid stories. So he had a homemade car.
a homemade car.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was like a car underneath, but it had been all rusted. So he cut it all apart. His father had a torch and stuff. So he cut it all apart and he was slowly putting pieces of sheet metal on it. And he just used someone else's license plate. It was totally not legal.
Yeah.
And so one day he came to school and he picked me up. We were in high school and he had put a new piece of sheet metal on the one side and it was really jagged and he cut his arm on it and it was bleeding really bad. And I don't know if you remember the Geraldo expose on Satanism. It was a big thing, this big Satan scare if you Google it. And that was on this expose of kids into Satanism, they play D&D, they wear all black, they're not social, they have anarchy signs and stuff. We had fucking anarchy signs. And so so there was four of us, the skater kids, and we didn't hang out with anyone else and we were kept to ourselves. So we were Satanists. But so Alvin comes in and his arm's bleeding really bad because he just cut it on this piece of sheet metal. We go to the nurse's office and the nurse looks at it and looks at us. And Alvin had he had white makeup on his face and lipstick and stuff and and the nurse looks at him and says, "Alvin, is this a result of a satanic ritual?" And he looked at me and I looked at him and we looked at the nurse and he said, yes, it is. And we thought it was so funny. And the school was empty
man.
by the end of the day. All the kids went home. Half the teachers went home. Like they were terrified of us.
Ain't
And
that the
yeah,
worst, man? You're out there doing a satanic ritual, and you get blood all over your arm, you cut yourself, and it's
on your
like,
way to school, you're like worshiping Satan, and it's like, hold on a minute.
yeah.
I gotta get the Dark Prince to like help us drive to school. Slice, like, you know,
Oh
it
man.
was a small town and it was all farmers and like it was weird. It was cut
Yeah.
off from it wasn't Binghamton, it's like 20 minutes away from here. But like it was weird. And like they had to have this guy that was the head of some Satanism awareness cult network thing had to come and give a speech at the school and say they're not Satanists. And people are like, but they sacrifice cows. And he's like, no, 3 of them are like vegetarian and like they don't kill animals.
They
They
sacrifice
just don't do
cows.
it.
Is that what you said? Was that a rumor?
Yeah, there was someone had a barn and like the floor broke or something and a cow fell through and got impaled on something and we
Uh-huh.
did it. But like, yeah, we were shot at. We would be skating down the road and a farmer's truck would pull up and we'd have to run into cornfields and get shot at. And it was like an everyday thing. It's like a serious thing. Yeah,
You got to keep Satan out of the town, man.
I know. Yeah.
And now you're the Lord. So how does that work out? If they
I
can
don't
see you
know.
now, right?
It's all a trick. It's all a trick. I'm gonna show my evil ways soon, you know.
There you go.
Yeah. My evil
On that-
vegan ways.
Oh, on that note, dude, get the hell out of here.
Yeah. I'm going home.
Yeah, there you go. Zymot drop in the shop this weekend. Take a look. Toys Alive, 10 a.m. on Saturday. The beautiful insect vinyl piece. And there is a bonus resin piece with that as well. Also, take a look at Zimico tomorrow for the
Also
regular Friday drop.
buy my shit every Friday, please.
Buy his shit every
Someone
Friday.
buy my shit, please. I make too much.
And if you don't see anything that you like online when it drops tomorrow, take a look at the Zimico shop. It's amazing. There's about 2,000 pieces in there. If you can't find something, maybe you're blind.
Or you just don't like me because I'm a Satanist.
That's probably what it is. I mean, you're out
Okay.
there impaling cows, so I'm not going to support someone like that.
Look, I've been vegetarian since I was like 12, and I've been vegan for, how old are my kids? I've been vegan for 30 something years, so
Oh wow!
I'm not really, I use a different kind of Satanism.
Even more reason for you to kill cows, right? You just hate them.
I don't. I like them.
That would make more sense, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Well, thanks for coming on. Thanks for your time. And awesome work, dude. We'll get these things in the shop this weekend and see how many we can get out of here.
Cool. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely, man. We'll
Thanks
be in touch,
for
dude.
carrying on every week.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
You too.
Zimico, man, that dude has a lot going on. Awesome work. These vinyl pieces are freaking sick. The 3.75 pieces are really sick too. That are going to be with these. So those will be in the shop this weekend. Look for those. That's going to be 10 a.m. on Saturday. That will do it for the show tonight. Next week, we are going to do the show on Wednesday. Thursday is 4th of July next week, and I will be busy. So we are going to do the show on Wednesday next week. Next week, Plastic Vomit Customs. They will be in the house next week. We're going to talk to them. They also have a piece that's going to be going in, a real 3.75 articulated action figure that will be going in the Toys Alive shop next weekend. So keep an eye out for that. We'll be doing some posting during the week. I'm not sure if he's going to post pictures of that. I think he will at some point, but we'll definitely get with them next week and take a look at it on Thursday in preparation for the drop on Saturday. Yeah, Zero Pop, absolutely, dude. Welcome back anytime, man. That was a great interview. Really cool work. Check out Zero Pop Art on Instagram. There's a shop there if you're in the Asheville area. get on over to the marquee and see his storefront that he has there. Really cool shop online. That Zero Pop art on IG. There's a cool shop attached to that with gift cards and all sorts of stuff. Zimico, of course. Follow them if you're not already. Tons of, like you said, almost 2,000 pieces in that shop now, which is amazing. And that'll do it for tonight. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in on the replay. We will see you next Wednesday. I'll make sure that I'll post about that, but it'll be Wednesday, same time, same place, on Wednesday next week, July 3rd. Congrats to everybody who won. Thanks again to Zero Pop and Zimico. Peace.